Om Shanti. Welcome to today's episode of Masters of Change. Change is constantly happening around of us, whether we know about it or not. When we don't know that change is happening, then the problems come because we're not aware and the control lies in change's hand. But when we are aware that change is happening, we can actually take the control and we can steer it according to our wishes. To help us know more about how to handle change and why it is essential for us to lead a good life, today we have with us Brother Gurinder. Welcome, brother.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad I'm here. Right?
It is our pleasure.
Yeah.
So why don't you start by telling us something about your journey, how it all started?
Yeah. I basically am a Sikh by religion. And Sikhism is koot ke bhari hui. It's too much in us.
Right.
I have been reading Guru Granth Sahib and all that. My father was baptizing Sikh people, all those. Yep. And it was all about it. And I was very happy. So I read Guru Granth Sahib in such a way that every answers were there from me.
Okay.
Anyhow, on the parallel, I used to go to the mandir. I used to play in Hanuman's mandir there. Then I will go to the Lakshmi Narayan mandir and then I was studied in a Catholic school. So I knew Bible. I was actually all around. That was my life. It being in Bombay, and then I had friends who were Parsis, all those stuff. So I had too much knowledge. But too much knowledge, somehow, I said something is there. Now what had happened, if I look back, as a child, I used to see the Brahma Kumaris, they walking by, and I used to look at the white clothes. I was kind of impressed. What are they doing? As a child. Then I went as an adult and all that. Finally, I landed in USA. I'm an engineer by profession.
Okay.
Anything I have to do, we have to have a logic. We check it up, we see it, and then we perform it, and we see if it is validated or not.
Right.
That happen every time. Anything which happens in our job, if there is any change, we say, okay, here's the problem. We look at it, then we process it, and if we are happy, then we validate it.
Correct.
It is a change every time.
Yeah.
Now, here what happened, I somehow, in Peace Village is very near my home, about a 1 hour drive, and they used to come and meet me. Oh, bhai, please come there. And I said, okay, I will come there. And somehow, to me, the BK was all a woman affair.
Women organization.
Yeah, women organization and only women. And several times I went to go there, but it stopped. One day, I was, for my job, I was working in General Electric, so I was going to Shanghai. And from Albany, when I went to the airport, it's full of Brahma Kumaris.
Right.
And my flight was going to Detroit, and Brahma Kumaris sat with me. And I started talking about BKs. And then she told me, the organization has men also. I said, okay, that's good. And also story, it went on, and finally I landed in Peace Village. They talked to me, and before that, I went to one program, and there were all BKs were there. I was only the non-BK. I saw a picture, which is called Baba's picture. And there's the point of light. And I was continuously looking at it. I never knew what was being talked and all that. I was continuously looking at it as if something is attracting me. I couldn't figure it out, but I said, okay.
This is the first time you were looking at that picture.
First time I looked at it. And then I realized, later on I started looking at it, what is the superpower? And I read a lot, and if you have, there is a person called Wayne Dwyer.
Okay.
Wayne Dwyer he's no more alive, but he has a lot of videos. And one of the video, he says that the source and there's the sourcer. That the source is the God, or the superpower is there, and you are a little one.
Yeah.
And there is a connection between two.
Correct.
You have to correct the connection. I'm being an engineer. I said, okay, here you are. There is a fiber optic connection, cables are there. So I was the engineer, so that's the way I think it.
Yeah.
So that means if there is a dirt between this fiber optic, so then you will not get the full energy back.
Correct.
And I say, okay, so we have to clean that thing.
Yeah.
Then I looked around. Now to me, it was who was the superpower?
Yeah.
And I started looking at it. A lot of people, where I discussed with them, if you call Muslims, they call Ahle Noor. Allah is Noor, Noor is light.
Yeah.
Then it is, if you look at is Hinduism, Suryavanshi and everything start with Surya and all that. If you go to Egyptians, and they are sun gods, they believe in sun god. And then afterwards, if you look at these Zoroastrians, I was very much impressed with Zoroastrian, and they are all my mentors, and Parsis,
Yeah.
So there they do the fire temple. Everything is fire. So I said, that's the energy. And being electrical engineer, I said, energy is the main thing. And suddenly I found this is what impresses me. And then I started looking at process, how to connect. I was very much impressed by wind wire.
Correct.
And I said, okay. So now,
so you joined the dots.
I joined the dot. And then again, I started looking at BK's knowledge.
Yeah.
Sikhism, the first paragraph of Sikhism, Ekamkar Satnam Kartapur, it describes the God.
Correct.
And similarly, the BK also describes the same thing. So I just got connected here, and suddenly I found, to me, moving from change from this to this is validated. We are thinking of same thing. And then I said, okay, let me go and all that. Suddenly, it was a very short story that I was given a course in a very fast track. I landed here in Madhuban, and I wanted, they said, you see Baba. And I thought, now I'm my son. He said, Dad, you are so intelligent. He's a PhD. He's much more intelligent than me. He said, Dad, you are more intelligent. Where are you going? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I said, don't worry, I'll take care of myself. I landed here. And I told him, if something is going to happen, I will come. Otherwise, I'm done, adios. I came, and what happened, Dadi Gulzar was not well. Things did not happen, and I said, okay. And there's one very gentleman, very learned, is Atam Prakash.
Okay.
He walked with me, and I said, hey, it was nice to come here, and I'm done. And he said, you will be called again. This was October. You will be called again. I say, if I'm called by the superpower, I will come. I'm not going to make any effort. Then, on January 1st week, my boss came to me. He says, Gurinder, there is a project in Tashkent. It belongs to a Chinese guy. China is dealing it. He is not getting a visa to come to Tashkent. You are American citizen. You will get a visa very easily. Would you like to take this project? I said, let me go think whether I should go to Tashkent or not. I looked at it. Babar came from Tashkent, that Samarkand. I said, okay, that's good. I will go there. Now, I found if I go to the Tashkent, the plane goes via Delhi.
Correct.
So I said, okay, suddenly I felt that is something attracted me to go back. I looked at it, I said, okay, the big thing which was going to happen in February 2nd, my meeting is February 4th, and I can probably make it. And suddenly I found my visa for India was expired. And I said, okay, it's not going to happen. Long story short, if you apply for a visa, you're a citizen, it takes 2 months. A story I'm not going to tell you, but I got the visa in 3 days. I said, there is some power behind this to giving me a visa in 3 days. And then I went to my boss, hey, I've got my visa for India, I'm going. He said, no, I'm not paying you to go to India, you have to go to Tashkent. Yeah, Tashkent visa has not arrived. I said, oh my God. I went to my desk, opened my laptop, there was the visa for so I landed here. I came here on February 1st. 2nd, I attended this event. I will tell you that was the best experience I ever had. I thought somebody is pulling me.
You came back to Mount Abu?
Yeah, I came back to Mount Abu. And I said, something is pulling me. suddenly I realized what Atan Prakash told me, you will be called. And I came. I didn't have to pay any money from my own pocket. Entire flight things were paid by G, okay? And I landed, and suddenly then that time I said, things work up. And then now my next process came in, how to apply, how this thing is happening. I will tell you, I was a very angry man because I doing all these God things and all that, you think your life is going to be very good, but then my wife passed away. She left 12 years old daughter with me. Raising a 12-year daughter by a single man in America is not easy. Things went on, anyhow, somehow I just came across BKs and I understood what is wrong with us. Me and my daughter, we could not have a nice talk more than 5 minutes. And then I used the philosophy of BK, and I said, these are all the karmic accounts. That is one thing. And second, you have to sit in the shoes of the other person and see why somebody is reacting. There I held up, oh my God, here it is. Why she is reacting that way, how I am reacting, how this process is there. And suddenly, things started changing. All my friends, suddenly they found that I am more towards the Brahma Kumaris. They asked me, what do you get from Brahma Kumari?
Yeah.
I said, I did not get anything. All I lost my anger, all my vices, and my life is very happy. My connection with my daughter was so awesome, and she is my best friend. I could never ever thought she will be my best friend. I said, oh, kya hai, those things. And that is what I found, and the happiness coming from it. Once you understand, okay, me again as the principal, I say, here it is the issue, here that I am changing something, but I'm not changing, I'm going on the second path of it. And what I found, that as an engineer, I analyzed, then I worked on that, then I validated. And once I validated it is right, I said, that is my path.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of seva for them. I am not only the BK, when I retired from General Electric, and there was an article about me there is a small town, about 300,000, and they have a Times Union. The article came on my name, Gurinder Gacha, who retired from General Electric, his volunteer hours are much more than normal people work in their office. And that was the big thing to me. And I started saying, now I am doing the volunteer work, and there's the force behind me to help me out for this volunteer work. I can do so many. I'm a Toastmaster, public speaker. I teach the students how to do the speaking. I run the Toastmaster clubs. Thereafterwards, with the YMCA is the organization which I am the advisory council for them. And thereafterwards, I do all their programs. We take the kids, poor kids, to the shop, buy them $120 worth of clothes and all those things. Then Thanksgiving, I take food for the poor people to their home. Then all those things, too many. And then for my town, they realized like a MPs here, there's a congressman. He gave me a congressional award doing this one. And this all happened due to my knowledge with the Brahma Kumaris, and I felt that is the force behind me to do whatever I want.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was such a huge change. And you used to believe in God before as well.
Yeah.
But since you said that when you started to follow Brahma Kumaris, you found the real passion, and it changed you a lot. It made your relationships better with your daughter, and also it made you a better person. So did you go back to your, did you try to pass it on, this study, to anyone else, like your friends maybe, because you found the changes yourself? So did you pass it on to your family, or were they attracted to do the same thing that you did?
My kids, they watch. My grandson listens to all those things. My daughter, she's too busy with her families and all that. My son is very far away, and he says, okay, Dad, whatever you want to do. But my friends, they are there. They look at it. I tell them about that, Brahma Kumaris, and they are watching that. They are looking at it. They are listening. I give them the literature.
Correct.
And a couple of people, they have come and take the courses and join.
Wow.
But they are with the effort, one after the other and all that.
Right.
But it works up, and they are one thing which I found in the Brahma Kumaris, people are happy. I have never seen unhappy guys. That is the main important. And I think there is a force behind this, and whatever you say, Allah, ya God, or Shiv Baba, or anything you call it, there are several names of that.
But it's all one.
Only one.
Yeah.
And I have Muslim friends. I talk to them, and I have this picture in front of me with a light. And this guy said, what is that? I said, this is God. How that is? I said, don't you know Allah Noor? He said, this is Noor? Yeah. And Christians, I said, when the Moses went up the hill and he saw the God, they asked me, did you see the God? He said, no, it was such a powerful light, I looked down only. I said, that's the light. See, here is that light, And they realize, they say. And I am in a discussion group with the in senior center. All the old people, they come there and sit down on Monday. We have 2-hour discussion. Anybody talks everything, anybody. And I start talking about the philosophy of Indian Atma and reincarnation. Those people don't believe in reincarnation, but all those things, and how the mind works, how the logic works, and all that. I put that knowledge in their format, and they say, "Oh, how did you get it?" So I just tell them, but they are all in 90 years old, 80 years old. They are not going to change anything. Yeah.
And since how long are you associated with Brahma Kumaris now?
12 years.
12 years. So I'm sure the experience must have grown over a period of time. It would have been gradual. So is there anything in particular that you're working on yourself now that you want to change about yourself?
I think I have changed a lot.
Yeah.
I have changed. I'm the happiest person.
That is amazing.
In spite of all the problems I have, I'm very happy. It does not matter.
Yeah.
And I am here. I'm going to look at now, from here I'm going to go to Vietnam. And for YMCA, we are going to build the library. We are going to go to the paintings and all that.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm going to Manila. And I have 2 adopted nieces, and I'm going to introduce them to Brahma Kumaris. And so I'm trying my effort. And I send them the information. They're very happy. So I'll say, Uncle, we want to go there, Okay. And people, they know. They have seen a lot of change in me. I feel the change is not that important. But when people see that the change in me, and I'm the happy person. And again, I'm very well connected with the politicians in the USA, all the senators and town supervisors and all that. They check out with me, and there are a couple of people, they want to visit Brahma Kumaris. They see when I talk to them, and they put me in the town positions. I'm the sub-chairman of the Trails Committee. We have so many trails there in our town, and they want me to do. I said, no. Let me take one step at a time,
Yeah.
So, and that way I help.
And how did it help your work? You said the relationships were better. Did it improve your work as well?
It helped me a lot. There was a lot of changes in my work, and G is every day things change. Okay, I understood there is no fun in complaining. Let it be, flow with this thing. And in the end, one day I found that I have worked for 50 years as an engineer, and I said, that's enough. And I was thinking, by working with the BKs and all that, I have to do something else. That day I said, I'm not going to live for 100 years, I'm going to live for 90 years. I multiplied by 3/4, it was 72 and a half. And after 2 days, I was becoming 72 and a half. I said, this is the message for me to retire. First thing I called my financial advisor. I say, hey, can I live if I retire next week? He said, give me an hour. And he said, yeah, you can live. That's okay, you got enough money. So then I went to my boss. I said, I'm retiring. He says, okay. And then things change. Things change. I said, now I have a time. I can probably, the Hindu philosophy is the sannyas. Sannyas means does not mean leave everything. Sikhism says don't leave everything, be there. And same is the BK, be there and work for everything and be affect the change in the community, change in those.
Yeah.
And I do that. And when you do all these things, it makes you very happy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Since you said that you're an engineer, you have been an engineer since all your life, and you work on connections, you believe in connections. So how's your connection with God today, if you have to describe it?
Oh, what is the connection? Every day in the morning, I talk to Him.
Yeah.
I have been making Him as a friend, making my connections with Him. If I drive, I said, come on, God, sit next to me in my chair. And when I go, sometime if there's no phone calls and anything, generally I also talk on phone while driving. But otherwise, I talk to Him. I said, here it is. And I will tell you, driving in New York City is the biggest problem. And I'm the only person who can go to New York City for the Brahma Kumaris and go and bring people, drop them and all that. I call myself a Uber driver of Brahma Kumaris, And all the time I feel there is a force sitting next to me, protecting me. And you need a protection. No matter how big you are, you still need a father. You still need somebody. And I have the God with me.
As a guide.
As a guide, He takes me all around. It protects me. And then I feel there is a canopy of power all around me. Nothing is going to happen to me. I will be taken care of.
Yeah.
And that is most important. Anybody, any religion, they want God and they want to be protected by you. But somehow Brahma Kumaris every day keep on telling you in the morning, and then it hits you. Okay? Some other people, some other places are not that way, but here it is. And here I am spending and I have got invitation to all other countries to visit them. And it's the best place. If you ever want to be looking at the happiness, I will suggest everybody look at Brahma Kumaris. Look at. And this is one thing which I said, Guru Nanak, 500 years ago, he was very much advanced. He said, Pandanimiya, Pandamiya, Pandvangovya. Basically it says, the woman gives the birth to a king, and woman does everything. Why do you denounce the woman? Okay? That is Guru Nanak has said, put a woman in a very high pedestal.
Yeah.
And Brahma Kumaris this organization is run by Brahma women. And when I look at our life, my guide was my mother. My father was with a stick. My mother was with my love. Okay? And I feel that is what the philosophy of love is there. And again, I was very lucky to have my wife. She was a big force rock behind me. And again, with a womanly love, and I appreciate this organization when it is run by women and who understand, who are more loving. Men are also loving, but their love is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The motherly love that you can see with women.
Motherly love is very pure love.
Yeah.
And it doesn't demand anything. It's just giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, since you have received so much and you're a happy person, you remain happy all the time, you said. What is that one thing you would like to see the change in the world in the coming few years? Because how world changes is not in our hands, how we can change ourselves. But what if there's one change that you would like to see in the world?
You know, if what happens in the world, if things are not good, that means if I'm looking at if I think is not good, if I look the other person, if I don't like you, okay, so there is a negative energy.
Correct.
So that part is the things which have to change. So you change yourself to like you, okay? You give a good energy to the person. Any person you meet, smile at them and make them good. Happy person make happy person. Okay? Be happy, and then afterwards, when all those things, I think the world is going to change when you look at everything, even the earth, in a very nice way. Are you harming anything? Or look at the weather and all those things. And if you look at this thing, I think if you give a positive energy to people around you, people change. When people change, the atmosphere around that changes and make a people. And in the end, the bad people, somehow they realize it is not good to be bad. It is going to be good. It is good to be good. And I think that is the way we'll be able to change this world.
Very rightly said.
Yeah.
I mean, to change first, we have to change, and then seeing us, people around us will change as well, and they'll get the change themselves. Well, thank you so much for taking our time and speaking to us today.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
It was our pleasure listening to you, and I'm sure that many people will benefit from the experience that you shared with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.